Hi, and welcome to Friday After Class. Today we're discussing the important topic of adult and graduate student recruitment. In the highly competitive landscape of adult and graduate student programs today, we know that recruitment process can be a great way for institutions to gain an edge in relationship to their enrollment. The first thing I want you to think about is, are you running an admissions shop or a recruitment shop? Admissions is really more of an old school way of sitting back and waiting for students to come to you, inquire about your program, and then really fairly effectively navigate their own way through the process. Recruitment is a much more intentional, and some might think of it as slightly more aggressive way of taking students by the hand and assisting them throughout the process, including continuing to remind them why they're interested in returning to school in the first place. The second question I want to ask you about is your conversion rates that you're tracking. At most institutions, they usually track approximately 2 conversion rates: inquiry to application and application to enrolled student. In reality, those are only a couple of the key indicators of what's going on with your student population, and there are many other opportunities for you to measure along the way and thus make tweaks and changes to do a better job recruiting your students. A couple of suggestions. If you are utilizing a recruitment process that first and foremost is not well established, you need to establish a clear process. The process that I'm showing you right now is really a process that allows for an ongoing communication over the course of 30 days. That's a combination of both human touch points as well as electronic communications to try to continue to engage a student from the point that they said they were interested in you through to taking the next step, which is probably attending a meeting with you. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is conversion rates. While not every institution who's successful in enrollment follows all of these conversion rates, there really are a number of key points that you have the opportunity to monitor and help to better understand where students get hung up along the way. As you can see, far more than simply inquiry to application. All of those steps and all of that process that takes place between when a student says they're interested in coming to your school or learning more about your school and then actually filling out an application. If you pay closer attention within those conversion rates and monitor more carefully, you'll get a better sense of who's enrolling and where you're losing people throughout. So in closing, just a couple helpful tips. First, restrict the number of leads that your recruitment staff are actually trying to work with an intentional process that's a combination of human as well as electronic touch points. You really do need to keep people's time free to be able to make those phone calls. Second, utilize that combination of human and electronic touch, as I just mentioned. Establishing individual conversion goals at each of those conversion metrics along the way for each individual recruitment staff will help you to really understand who your strong staff are at certain areas of the recruitment funnel. And last, make utilization of a process a key requirement of your job. It is not a negotiable that a recruiter can say, I have my own process that I use and it works. If you do these things and take recruitment as a serious means by which to enroll more students and a real opportunity to take the leads you already have and convert more of them to enrolled students, you will be successful at growing your enrollment. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great Friday.